Hey there, and welcome to Zen Mind Peaceful Life, the place where we dive deep into the stars, unlocking the secrets of the universe that can guide us through life's most challenging moments. Today, we're going to explore something particularly exciting for all you November-born Sagittarians out there. If you've been wondering what June holds for you, well, this video is exactly what you need to hear. This month could be a game changer, one that brings love or chaos into your life. It's a crossroads, a cosmic turning point that could set you on a path of deep self-discovery and transformation. Whether you're feeling a surge of emotions, a fresh love interest, or even the return of an ex, the energy in the air this June has the power to reshape your relationships. But here's the twist, the choice is in your hands. Will you allow love to blossom, or will you dive into the emotional roller coaster that could lead to chaos? We're not just talking astrology here. This is about understanding your own emotional patterns, your deeper needs, and making wise choices for your happiness. Before we dive into the cosmic details, if you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss a chance to unlock the secrets of the stars with us. And if you're ready to explore how June will impact your love life, like, share, and let's dive in. Welcome back to Zen Mind Peaceful Life, where we uncover the hidden truths of the universe, and today, we're tapping into something really special for all the November-born Sagittarians. June is here, and with it comes a powerful cosmic influence that could either lead to romance or turmoil in your life. But what if I told you that you have the power to decide which path you walk? You see, Sagittarians, you are the adventurous and spontaneous souls of the zodiac. But, when it comes to matters of the heart, sometimes that fierce desire for freedom leads to impulsive decisions, leaving behind a trail of emotions. June, however, will ask you to take a step back and reflect on your approach to love and relationships. The question is, will you answer the call with wisdom, or will you dive headfirst into a storm of feelings that you may regret? Think about it. Have you ever rushed into a relationship, convinced that it was the one, only to find yourself emotionally drained or heartbroken? Or maybe you've been stuck in the past, unable to let go of someone who doesn't serve your highest good? This is the cosmic lesson that June is bringing to the forefront. As we move through the month, it will feel as if the universe is giving you a chance to rewrite the story of your love life. For instance, let's say you've been seeing someone casually. You're attracted to them, but there's always been a lingering sense of uncertainty. Is this a spark, or is it just the thrill of the chase? The energy of June could bring clarity to this situation. If you've been avoiding a conversation about your true feelings, this might be the time when you finally find the courage to speak up. On the other hand, if you've been playing it safe, afraid of getting hurt, the stars are aligning to challenge you to take a leap of faith. The universe isn't asking for perfection, but rather for you to embrace vulnerability and trust your intuition. You might find yourself asking, am I really ready for commitment? It's okay to question yourself, to take a moment and assess whether this new relationship is based on genuine connection or just an escape from loneliness or boredom. The key here is awareness. Sagittarians, you are natural explorers, but this month calls for a different kind of exploration, one that delves deep into your emotional needs and desires. And trust me, doing this inner work is never easy, but the rewards are profound. But what about those of you who have been feeling stuck in a toxic relationship? Maybe you're finding yourself repeating the same patterns over and over again. The truth is, you might be holding on to a relationship because it feels familiar, even if it's unhealthy. June is urging you to take a long, hard look at your emotional ties and ask, is this relationship nurturing me? Or is it draining me? One of the most common traps Sagittarians fall into is chasing excitement at the cost of their emotional well-being. You've probably been in situations where the highs are incredibly intense, but the lows feel like emotional whiplash. That chaotic back and forth can feel addictive, but it's important to ask yourself, is this really love, or is this just the rush of adrenaline? If you've been stuck in a pattern like this, take a moment to step back and reflect. Think about how your past relationships have unfolded. Did you prioritize your own peace and growth? Or were you constantly seeking validation from others? June brings the perfect opportunity for self-reflection. Ask yourself what it is that you truly seek in a relationship, and whether the person you're with truly aligns with your values and emotional needs. At this point, you may be wondering, how do I know when to take a risk and when to pull back? Here's the trick: listen to your gut. As a Sagittarian, your intuition is powerful, even if you don't always trust it. June's energy will highlight moments when your instincts are pointing you in a certain direction. Whether it's a red flag in a conversation or a sudden feeling of deep connection, those small intuitive nudges are there for a reason. One of the most important things to keep in mind is that love, at its core, should feel safe and fulfilling. When you're around someone who truly resonates with your soul, you'll feel supported and grounded, even when life gets chaotic. On the flip side, if someone consistently leaves you feeling anxious, uncertain, or emotionally drained, it might be time to reevaluate your connection. But here's where it gets really interesting. Sagittarians are known for their need for freedom, and sometimes that can manifest as avoiding emotional depth. It's easy to get caught up in the thrill of a new relationship. But this month, June is encouraging you to be honest with yourself about what you truly need. Are you looking for a fleeting fling, or are you craving something deeper and more meaningful? A real example from a friend of mine, who's a Sagittarian, sheds light on this. She was dating someone for a few months, enjoying the adventure and spontaneity they shared. But deep down, she realized that what she was truly seeking was a deeper emotional connection, not just someone to pass the time with. When she finally admitted that to herself, everything shifted. She had to walk away from a connection that, while exciting, wasn't going to bring her the long-term emotional fulfillment she wanted. It wasn't easy, but by trusting her intuition, she found someone who truly aligned with her heart's desires. This brings us to the core of the June energy: transformation. It's not just about love, it's about evolving emotionally and spiritually. Every relationship you encounter, whether it ends in love or heartbreak, serves as a lesson. June is your opportunity to learn about your emotional patterns and to make conscious choices moving forward. The key here is to embrace growth, even if it feels uncomfortable. Sometimes, the most powerful transformation happens when you step outside your comfort zone and face your fears. But let's not sugarcoat it: the road to emotional growth is rarely smooth. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you question your choices. And that's okay. The important thing is to trust the process and remember that you are in control. This is your chance to rewrite the story of your love life. It's about empowerment, choosing not to settle for less than you deserve, and having the courage to walk away from anything that doesn't support your peace and happiness. As we move further into June, take a moment to reflect on these questions. What patterns have you noticed in your relationships? Are you making decisions from a place of fear? Or are you allowing yourself to grow and evolve? June isn't just a month of romance, it's a month of awakening. And if you're wondering how this will all unfold, well, stay tuned. Because in the next part of this video, we'll dive into how you can use June's energy to build healthy, lasting relationships. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. As June unfolds, it brings with it a powerful invitation to reflect, to connect with both the heart and the soul. For Sagittarians born in November, the stars align in such a way that you're not only challenged but also offered a fresh perspective on love. There's a pull, a certain tug of fate urging you to decide what you truly want. And while the stars might be guiding you toward a certain path, the real question is, will you listen to your heart? Or will you succumb to the excitement of the moment? It's easy, isn't it? To get swept away by the rush of emotions, to dive headfirst into something that feels exciting and new. But the universe is pushing you this month to step back and reassess. If you've been caught up in relationships that bring you more stress than joy, now is the time to recognize those patterns. Take it from my own experiences. There was a time when I was involved in a relationship that, at first, seemed thrilling. The intensity was almost magnetic. But deep down, something felt off. I ignored the small red flags because, well, the spark was too intoxicating. And then, when things started to unravel, I was left questioning my choices. It wasn't until later that I realized I had been seeking excitement to fill an emotional void, instead of allowing myself the space to seek out deeper, more fulfilling connections. The truth about love, especially for you, Sagittarius, is that it's not always about the chase or the thrill. Sometimes, it's about the quiet moments, the steady conversations, and the feeling of being seen for who you truly are. As you move through June, take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I truly ready to embrace love for what it is? Or am I running from something? Reflecting on this question can help you untangle your desires from your fears, which, as a Sagittarius, you may sometimes find hard to differentiate. Now, when it comes to those emotional roller coasters, June may bring up some unresolved issues, particularly with ex-partners or people from your past. The planetary transits suggest that Mercury retrograde is likely to stir up old emotions, perhaps leading you to question why certain things ended or even bringing a past lover back into your life. Here's the thing, while the past may come knocking, it's up to you to decide if it's worth reopening that door. There's a saying that's often used in astrology, don't go back to what broke you. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when nostalgia clouds our judgment. But remember, if a relationship ended before, there's a reason. The cosmic energy of June is offering you an opportunity to rise above old habits, to choose growth over comfort. Imagine this, a friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, went through a difficult breakup a year ago. In June, out of nowhere, her ex reached out, and the temptation to rekindle something was strong. The conversations felt warm and familiar. And for a moment, Sarah wondered if she was making a mistake by walking away from him before. But after taking a step back, she realized that the issues they had before were still unresolved, the emotional wounds hadn't healed. She told me, I realized that I wasn't missing him, I was missing the idea of him. And in that moment, she made the conscious decision to let go once and for all. If you find yourself in a similar situation, this is your reminder. Recognize the difference between nostalgia and genuine connection. One of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself this month is the ability to let go. Letting go of past relationships, old patterns, or emotional baggage isn't easy, but June's energy is about release and renewal. And trust me, there's no better feeling than freeing yourself from something that no longer serves you. It's almost as if you're making space for the new love, the new experiences, and the new version of yourself that's waiting to emerge. Trust the timing of your life, and trust that the universe will align you with the right people at the right time. But don't be fooled, it's not just about saying goodbye to the past. It's also about stepping into your own power. If there's one thing June will teach you, it's to embrace the fact that you deserve a love that honors your independence. Sagittarians, you value your freedom above all else, and sometimes, that can make you hesitant to fully commit or open your heart. But here's the thing, love isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding someone who respects your journey and stands beside you, not in front of you, not behind you, but as an equal. I've seen this dynamic play out in the lives of many people, especially in the case of someone close to me, Ryan. Ryan had always been fiercely independent. He loved the idea of love but feared losing himself in a relationship. That is until he met someone who understood his need for space, but also challenged him to open up emotionally. What he found was that true love didn't bind him or restrict his freedom, instead, it allowed him to grow into a better version of himself. Love, in its purest form, can free you, not cage you. But remember, there's also a fine line between needing space and pushing people away because you fear intimacy. This month, reflect on that balance. Are you keeping your emotional walls up because you're scared of getting hurt? Or are you giving enough of yourself to the right people, the ones who deserve to experience the real you? As June progresses, you'll feel the urge to take more risks, and that includes in love. Whether it's asking someone out on a date or telling a person how you truly feel, the stars are aligning to help you step out of your comfort zone. But as you venture into this new territory, here's a piece of advice. Don't let the fear of rejection stop you from taking that first step. Rejection doesn't define you, it refines you. Every experience, even the painful ones, serves a purpose. They teach you something valuable about yourself, about your desires, and about what you're truly seeking in a partner. Take a moment to think about this. When was the last time you allowed yourself to be vulnerable with someone, without fear of judgment? Vulnerability is a key ingredient for true intimacy. But for many Sagittarians, it's a challenge. The irony is that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's a strength. It takes courage to open your heart, to risk it all for the chance at real love. And while that may feel daunting, June is here to help you embrace that courage and open yourself up to the possibility of a deeper connection. One of the most important things you can do for yourself during this time is to stay grounded. With all the emotional intensity that June brings, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of excitement. But remember, in the midst of all the feelings and changes, don't forget to stay connected to your inner peace. Take time each day to center yourself, meditate, take walks in nature, journal your thoughts, or simply sit in stillness. When you're grounded, you'll be better equipped to make decisions that are in alignment with your true self. As we continue to explore June's energy, it's clear that this month is full of potential. But the key takeaway here is simple: you are in control. Whether it's choosing to walk away from something that no longer serves you, embracing a new relationship, or simply understanding your own emotional needs, June is about making decisions that lead to growth and fulfillment. Take this opportunity to reflect on your emotional journey. And trust that whatever path you choose will bring you one step closer to the love and peace you deserve. Stay tuned, because what's coming next will give you the tools to turn this cosmic energy into lasting love and true self-discovery. June feels like a turning point for you, Sagittarius. It's a month brimming with potential, a cosmic crossroads where the universe seems to ask, what will you choose? Love or chaos? Stability or excitement? The choice is yours. But it's not a simple one. You see, June isn't just about random encounters or casual flings, it's about digging deeper into the roots of your relationships and deciding whether they nourish your soul or drain you. For someone like you, born under the adventurous, spontaneous sign of Sagittarius, the pull of something new is always tempting. There's a thrill in the chase, an excitement in the unknown. But let me ask you this: how often have you rushed into a situation, swept up by the excitement, only to find yourself caught in a whirlwind of confusion, wondering how you ended up there? It happens to the best of us. But the energy of June asks you to slow down, to take a moment and evaluate, is this the love I want, or is it just the excitement of the moment that's calling me? It's so easy to get caught up in the rush of it all. The flirty exchanges, the butterflies in your stomach, the thrill of something new and unknown. And for you, Sagittarius, this can be intoxicating. But what happens when the rush fades? What happens when the initial excitement turns into the reality of emotional vulnerability? That's where June's energy really kicks in. It pushes you to take a step back and ask yourself, am I truly ready for love, or am I just running from something else? Take my friend Emma, for example. She's a Sagittarius. And for months, she'd been jumping from one relationship to another. The connections felt intense, but they were always short-lived. She was constantly seeking that high, the rush of meeting someone new, only to find herself emotionally drained each time things fizzled out. It wasn't until June, when the planetary transits started shifting, that she finally realized what she was doing. She wasn't chasing love, she was chasing excitement to fill an emptiness she hadn't yet addressed. That realization changed everything for her. She took a break, gave herself time to heal. And when she finally opened up to love again, it was with someone who respected her independence, understood her need for space, and, most importantly, valued the deeper connection they shared. That's the first lesson June is offering you: take a step back and ask, what am I truly seeking in love? Are you seeking adventure and excitement, or are you seeking depth, growth, and partnership? Now, let's talk about something that's likely to come up for you this month, your past. The energy of Mercury retrograde could bring old flames back into your life. And when that happens, it's so easy to slip back into old habits and old patterns. You might feel that magnetic pull towards someone from your past, someone who once made you feel alive. But here's the truth, just because someone from your past shows up doesn't mean they belong in your future. The universe often brings exes back around not because it's meant to be, but because it's a test. It's a test to see if you've learned the lessons of the past or if you're still stuck in the same cycles. Think about the last time you reconnected with an ex. Was there a moment of genuine connection? Or was it more about the comfort of familiarity? We all know the feeling of nostalgia creeping in, those moments when we look back on a relationship and remember the good times. But you have to ask yourself, am I truly missing this person, or am I missing the version of myself I was when we were together? Take Leo, a Sagittarian I know, who found himself revisiting an old relationship in June. At first, it felt good. The conversations were easy, the chemistry was still there. But then he took a moment to reflect, and he realized that while he was comfortable with his ex, he wasn't growing. There was a lack of emotional depth, a lack of true partnership. Leo's choice was clear, he had to let go of the past once and for all. And while it wasn't easy, doing so made room for a future that felt much more aligned with the person he was becoming. This is a reminder that sometimes, the most difficult choice is the right one, and that might mean leaving the past behind. No matter how comfortable it may seem. But let's get real for a moment, letting go is hard. It's so easy to get attached to what we know, to fall into the comfort of old habits. Even when we know they're not good for us. But here's something I've learned, letting go of a relationship or a person doesn't mean you're closing your heart off to love. It means you're opening yourself up to something better. The universe is waiting for you to create the space for new love, the kind that truly fulfills you. Now, for some of you, this month will be about stepping into your own power. You've spent so much of your life chasing the thrill of the chase, but June is asking you to consider something else. True love doesn't require you to lose yourself. You don't have to sacrifice your independence, your freedom, or your individuality to be in a healthy relationship. In fact, the right person will encourage you to be more of who you already are. They'll help you grow, not by changing you, but by showing you the parts of yourself that you've forgotten or ignored. This is a lesson that Sarah, another Sagittarian I know, had to learn the hard way. She'd been in a long-term relationship where her partner was controlling, always questioning her decisions, her friendships, even her career choices. Sarah had convinced herself that she needed to give up parts of herself to make the relationship work. But when she finally ended things, it wasn't because she wanted to be alone, it was because she realized that she didn't have to compromise her happiness. As Sarah took time for herself in June, she grew more confident, more self-assured. She began to understand that the best kind of love doesn't make you feel small or trapped. It's the kind of love that lifts you up and helps you become the best version of yourself. And when she did eventually meet someone new, she wasn't just looking for someone to fill a void, she was looking for someone who could walk beside her as an equal, someone who respected her freedom while also sharing in her dreams. The best love is the one that makes you feel seen and valued for who you truly are. Now, June isn't just about personal growth and relationships. It's also about taking emotional risks. I know, for you, Sagittarius, this can feel like a challenge. You love your freedom. And the idea of giving that up, even for love, can feel daunting. But here's something important to remember. Love doesn't diminish your independence, it enhances it. When you meet the right person, your love doesn't need to be a sacrifice. Instead, it should be a partnership where both of you can grow and evolve together. Look at Jason, another Sagittarian friend of mine, who had always kept his heart at arm's length. He was afraid of being vulnerable, afraid that love would take away his freedom. But when he met someone who understood his need for space, someone who gave him the room to breathe and pursue his passions, he found that love didn't feel suffocating at all. In fact, it felt liberating. For the first time, he felt like he could be truly himself, without the fear of losing himself in the relationship. The key takeaway here is this: love doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing choice. It's about finding someone who respects your need for independence while also offering you the emotional connection and support you need to thrive. June will give you the courage to take this risk and see where it leads. But remember, you don't have to lose yourself in order to experience love. In the coming days, as June unfolds, I encourage you to take time to reflect. Reflect on what you truly want from love, what you're willing to give, and what you need in a partner. Don't rush into anything just because it feels exciting. Trust the process. If you make space for the right kind of love, the universe will bring it to you when the time is right. So, stay tuned for the next part, where we dive even deeper into how you can use this cosmic energy to attract the love you truly deserve. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. As we continue through June, Sagittarius, you'll start to feel the weight of the choices before you. This month isn't just about love. It's about growth, self-discovery, and clarity. The cosmic shifts, especially with Mercury retrograde stirring up old feelings and past relationships, are not just random events, they are opportunities. Opportunities to learn, to evolve, and to step into the next chapter of your emotional life. If you've been holding on to old habits or relationships that no longer serve you, June is the perfect time to let them go and make space for something new and fulfilling. But as we approach this turning point, let's talk about how to recognize the right kind of love for you, the one that aligns with who you are becoming and honors your need for independence while also offering deep connection. Sagittarians are known for their love of freedom. You need space to breathe, room to explore, and the liberty to follow your dreams. So, when love feels like it might infringe on that freedom, you instinctively pull away, thinking that love might be a trap. But real love isn't a cage, it's a companion to your freedom, a partnership that enhances your journey rather than restricts it. Think back to when you felt truly seen and loved. Was it when someone tried to control you, to dictate your choices, or was it when they supported your dreams and accepted you as you are? The ideal partner for a Sagittarius doesn't seek to change you or mold you into something else. They see your potential and encourage you to grow into the fullest version of yourself. It's not about attachment or control, it's about companionship, emotional freedom, and mutual respect. I remember talking to a friend of mine, Marcus, who's also a Sagittarius, about his approach to relationships. He'd always been afraid that any serious commitment would mean giving up his passions, his independence. He had a history of jumping into relationships that quickly turned toxic, because they made him feel like he couldn't be himself. But then he met someone who encouraged him to keep pursuing his career, to follow his dreams, and to never lose sight of what made him unique. For the first time, Marcus realized that love doesn't have to be a sacrifice, it can be a partnership where both people continue to grow in their own ways, while also growing together. That's the kind of love June is offering you, Sagittarius, the kind that celebrates your independence while still building something meaningful with another person. The question is, are you ready to open your heart to this kind of love, or are you still caught up in the fear that commitment will somehow take away your freedom? I know it's not easy. The fear of losing yourself in a relationship is real, especially when you've been hurt before or when past relationships have made you feel trapped. But this month, the stars are asking you to trust that true love won't take away your independence, but rather help you become the best version of yourself. Trust that you don't have to hide parts of who you are to make someone else happy. True love, the one that's worth fighting for, will bring out the best in you, not diminish you. And this is the moment where you have to make a choice. Will you continue to protect your heart with walls, afraid to let anyone in? Or will you take the leap, vulnerable yet strong, and open yourself to the possibility of a love that frees you? This month is about making that decision, not just for the relationship you want, but for the person you're becoming. Now, let's talk about communication, a key factor in every relationship, but especially in love. For you, Sagittarius, communication might feel like a double-edged sword. On one hand, you're open, honest, and straight to the point. But on the other hand, that same bluntness can sometimes come across as too much for the people around you. You don't have time for games or ambiguity. But that doesn't mean you can't find a way to communicate your needs with kindness and sensitivity. This is especially important in relationships, where clear communication can make the difference between a deep connection and an explosive argument. Being honest about your feelings is essential, but being mindful of how you express them is just as important. The energy of June is encouraging you to approach your conversations with love and patience. Instead of charging in with your usual directness, take a moment to listen, to truly understand the other person's perspective. What you'll find is that when you give others the space to express themselves, you'll create a deeper bond of trust and understanding. I've seen this dynamic play out in many relationships, especially with Sagittarians who are sometimes so caught up in the excitement of the moment that they forget to pause and listen. I had a friend, Laura, who's a Sagittarius, and she was always the one to take charge in her relationships, driving the conversation forward with boldness. But when her partner, someone who was a bit more reserved, didn't always open up in return, Laura started feeling frustrated. Instead of diving straight into a confrontation, she took a step back. She realized that her partner wasn't shutting down. They just needed a little more time and space to express themselves. Once she adjusted her approach and started listening with more empathy, their connection deepened. The lesson here is clear. Love isn't just about talking, it's about truly hearing each other. Another aspect of communication is being clear about your expectations. What do you need from a partner? What are your non-negotiables? What are you willing to compromise on? June will ask you to take a moment to define these things for yourself. To get really clear on what you want in a relationship. If you're not clear on your own needs, how can you expect anyone else to meet them? This is the time to set boundaries, to communicate your desires, and to be honest about what you're willing to give and receive in a relationship. One of the most important lessons here is to recognize that you deserve a love that aligns with your values. Don't settle for someone who doesn't appreciate you for who you are, or who tries to change the core of who you are. The right person will embrace all the quirks and qualities that make you unique. As we reach the end of this month, I want to remind you, Sagittarius, that June isn't just about finding love, it's about finding yourself. This is a powerful moment for you to step into your true self, to embrace the lessons that love and relationships have taught you, and to start making decisions that support your growth and happiness. Trust in your journey, trust in the universe's timing. And trust that the right love is out there, waiting for you to find it, not when you're ready to settle, but when you're ready to truly open your heart. Remember, you are worthy of love that elevates you, that frees you, and that makes you feel at home in your own skin. You don't need to chase excitement, true love will come when you stop searching for it and allow it to find you, exactly as you are. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. And remember, the stars are always guiding you, just trust your heart, and the right path will reveal itself. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.